that as well. And I'm like, I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to get. And I decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go on Amazon. I'm going to get one of those freaking Kinhank, 12 terabyte hard drives. I don't even know how the fuck they can legally sell those damn things on Amazon, but I'm like, fuck it. I'll buy one. 96,000 fucking games, which is insane. Legit.
That's
man.
just fucking insane.
Oh yeah. PS3 games, Xbox 360 games. It uses an older version of the Yuzu Switch emulator too. So there's a bunch of Switch games on there, but I won't play those until the Switch is done and gone and hit end of life. So yeah.
Huh.
There's a ton of there's a ton of retro stuff on there that I'm gonna start playing at some point. I just gotta start messing around with it when I have time.
Those emulators are really cool.
Yeah, those reminds me of when the mini Super Nintendo and the mini Nintendo came out. That sold out quickly.
Oh yeah,
they don't have as many games as how many is it? Like 90-something thousand games.
Well, I mean, the official ones that Nintendo released only had like maybe a couple dozen games at most, but you could crack those easily and load like, I mean, even the NES Classic, you could literally crack that thing and load every NES game that's ever been made on there and every SNES game on there, which is weird. Oh my god! What? Oh man!
All right. So if you are joining us right now, we're missing one person. So we'll talk about it during the episode. However, we will be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, the last trailer of Venom, The Last Dance, and much more. We have a couple of lists that we're going to do. Plus, I told the rest of the cast to think of the top 5 Cartoon Network shows or movies. So hopefully we agree on some, and we don't. So we'll be right back. This is the Nerd Archive Podcast, I think. Maybe? Are we?
Is it?
Episode of the Nerd Archive Podcast.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, but who the hell cares about wildlife anyway?
Right. We're over.
What? Why you restarting, bitch? I asked you not to restart it. There's no loop.
Yeah, but you know how that works. It's never going to do what it's told.
Yeah, well, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Nerd Archive Podcast. My name is Louis. I have Yadi. Justin, Lola's not here tonight. She is sick. I won't say okay. I was not going to say what.
She put
it on the chat. I know.
I wasn't going to say anything, but hey.
Hey, she said it. So,
stop drinking rotten milk.
Yeah, well.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's what it was. I'm not going to say the restaurant she got sick from, but be careful when you're out there trusting people to cook your food for you.
Can happen anywhere.
Yeah, and that's coming from a person that works in restaurants. So be careful. With that being said, rumors everywhere about the Nintendo Switch 2. And I know that Justin keeps, he is making sure he sees every rumor. So, because if there's someone that is a Nintendo fan, it's Justin. Justin, he likes to stream video games, but mostly Nintendo games. So, yep, exactly. You can see the Nintendo Switch back there. You can't see mine because it's on my desk, but I play on my monitor just because. Justin, what are the rumors? What's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, I get as much info as I can, and I follow a lot of the a lot of the people that cover
The
the
elites.
the rumors and reports and stuff that come up, mainly like who is it? Nintendo Prime, RGT85. Although he claims he's not a Nintendo YouTuber, you're full of shit, guy. You are the biggest Nintendo YouTuber out there, so don't kid yourself.
You heard it here. Justin is calling you out, brother.
No, he's cool. I like watching him and Nintendo Prime and a few others. Some of the others kind of get a little bit out there with their stories, but I won't get into that. But yeah, no, the reports are kicking into overdrive. A lot of people are saying that it's sometime this week, if not next week. There's an employee at the manufacturer Foxconn who is probably going to get into a lot of trouble if these reports are factual, that posted information and leaked information on the Switch 2 unit itself and the logo, which from what I'm told, in fact, says Switch 2. So I guess they decided on that. And what's funny is, like, this guy was completely out of nowhere. Like, he didn't have any kind of track record. And so I guess he made the mistake of posting his ID badge on one of the forums. I don't recall which forum it was on. It might have been Family Boards or something like that. But the admins took it down and he started taking stuff down, and like, people are still talking about this because this was just like a day or two ago. And so if this information is accurate, and with everything that goes on with Switch 2 at this point until it's officially announced, it's grain of salt, bigger grains of salt,
right,
from some areas than others, but he's probably going to be in a lot of trouble because Foxconn is one of the big manufacturing groups that works with companies like Nintendo. And we already know that they've entered mass manufacturing. And so they're literally working towards getting things ready. And so it's going to be announced at some point, whether it's this month, next month. Nobody really knows at this point except Nintendo. It was revealed, actually, I think yesterday, that a number of developers were actually flown out to Redmond, Washington, to the Nintendo of America campus for what nobody knows for sure, but a lot of people are speculating, and you can pretty much assume that it's hardware related. And so
right.
and we know that a lot of the big developers and publishers, they've already got dev kits. None of the indie developers or anything like that, they don't have dev kits yet, because you don't want to put too much out there, because the larger publishers in that, they can keep leaks and stuff like that under wraps for the most part. But when you have a lot of your indie developers and things like that, that creates a lot more risk. And so, but people will kind of trade information and whatnot. You'll have sources within that, folks like Nathaniel from Nintendo Prime, and that they'll get that information, which you can kind of trust it, but at the same time, regardless of how trustworthy those sources are, it's still, take it with a grain of salt. And so
big grains.
Pretty much. But at this point, it's anybody's guess. So we do have also the first confirmed game for Switch 2. It's not a big game, but I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with where is it? I don't know if any of you are familiar with a game called My Time at Portia. I've played a little bit of it. It's kind of one of those like slice of life, think like Animal Crossing, but without the animals and that stuff. So it's just like basically like a life sim, slice of life, whatever. And so the developer from that has already confirmed that their new game, My Time at Evershine, is going to be released on the Switch 2. And so that, I think, is alongside PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series consoles. And so that's the first one that's been confirmed thus far. And yeah, you've got guys like Christopher Dring, who is big on those reports and is a trustworthy source, and then Andy Robinson, who also covers a lot of these reports that are talking about. They're leaning heavily into, okay, this could be getting revealed this month, because when we talked about it, I think last week. It was mainly for groups that wanted to show their games at Tokyo Game Show, and so that's why they moved their Indie World and Partner Direct showcase up into August. So
Right.
Let's see, what else do we got? Yeah, one of the more prominent developers that was out there at Nintendo of America was Josh Fairhurst from Limited Run Games. And so I'm not sure if you are familiar with those guys, but they do like rare titles in like limited release, like physical releases, where you wouldn't otherwise get those on anything but like digital, which is actually really cool. And they also do I guess like re-releases of some older games on physical. And yeah, so he took a picture right outside of the Nintendo headquarters out in Washington. And so that's got a lot of people talking.
Right.
So
let's talk about the name real quick. They're taking a smart approach, such as PlayStation did.
Mhm.
PlayStation 1, 2, 3. And then whenever they do release a smaller one, stays with the theme, slim, whatever, pro, whatever.
they learned their lesson from the Wii U.
Right. Xbox. And I'm an Xbox guy. We got the Xbox. We got the Xbox 360. Which you would think, 360, it's because they want to turn things around. But if you turn 360, you end up in the same spot. However, you would think that the next one would be Xbox 720. No.
Everybody.
Let's do Xbox One.
Yeah.
Why Xbox One? But then let's do Xbox One S and Xbox One X. Great. Now, Xbox Series X. It's like, wait, was the Xbox One X part of the Series X? Because I digress. I digress. Here's the Switch. Switch 1, Switch 2. We're going to get one later, probably. Switch 2 Pro, whatever.
It's really anybody's guess at this point.
Right. What do you think the next Xbox name would be? Because you can't, like PlayStation 6, that we know that the next one will be PlayStation 6.
Of course.
Nintendo, they completely switches, no, not pun intended, but they completely switch their consoles. You had the first couple of generations where the first two were a updated version of the last one. And then they were smart. You have the NES. Then you have the Super NES. We went from 8-bit to 16-bit. Nintendo 64. Why? Because it was 64-bit. Smart. GameCube. Let's pause for a second. You just call it a GameCube because the design.
The design was pretty cool,
Right.
but honestly, it could have been absolutely like it could have been the dominant system from that generation had they gone with full size discs for physical media rather than those fucking mini discs.
I was going to say that. It reminds me of what Apple does. Apple creates something that it's only done for them and by them.
Yep.
So Nintendo said, I know that the discs are the thing right now. Everyone is doing disc. We're going to make them smaller. Why?
Because we can.
Because we can.
Pretty much. Which is fucking weird because the console had the power to drive those bigger games. And what's funny is that it had way more power than even the PS2 and the Xbox had. So it had the horsepower to give you better games than any of their competitors, and yet they made the asinine decision to go with smaller media. And that's why the games on the GameCube did not, especially ones for like third-party developers, did not look very good.
Right. So after the GameCube came the Wii, correct?
Yep.
Great. Why was it Wii? Like, was it because you get excited? Wii. I don't know.
Sophisticated gentleman in the chat.
What's going on,
What's
sophisticated?
happening, RJ?
They wanted to say yes in a different language, but not make it seem like it was written the same way.
Yeah. The Wii U. What?
The Wii and the U, so we played together.
So we and you played together. I get it. That's fantastic. The Switch. Which, to me, when it came to gaming, it blew everything out of the water. Like that Nintendo had done. And the fact that you can dock it or take it out and play the same game, that is when you're like, okay, innovation.
Lightning struck twice with Nintendo. Like they came out of nowhere with that because, and what's funny is because a lot of people, because of the failure of the Wii U, a lot of people thought, okay, the Wii was just a flash in the pan because it was a new concept. Nobody had ever seen anything like this before with the motion controls, accessible gaming everywhere, blah, blah, blah. You know,
Wii U,
RJ in the chat, Wii U was just Nintendo's attempt to make an ambulance sound. Oh, that's good. That is good. But and like, yeah, the Wii basically introduced a lot of people to gaming that you wouldn't have expected, and it took the world by storm. And this, you know, and the sales show it, but they couldn't follow that up with the Wii U because I mean it was terribly marketed. Like that's one of the biggest drawbacks of the Wii U. And like, yeah, it was significantly more powerful than the Wii, but they focused so much on the controller that most people didn't even realize you had a new console. And so it just kind of fell to the wayside and nobody really gave a shit about it. I enjoyed it. I played pretty much everything that was on it. And
I liked it too.
Oh yeah. And then, but people were like, you know, if they fail again, you know, this may be the end for Nintendo. And then the Switch comes out, and it came out of nowhere again. Like nobody expected any of this with the Switch, and once again, the sales just skyrocketed. And then, of course, they had help with the pandemic, with people not being able to leave their house, and everybody was wanting to get a video game console for something to do, and the Switch was the most affordable at that time. And so that also helped propel their sales even higher. But I think, honestly, they still would have sold significant if it had, even if the pandemic wasn't a thing,
They
because
miss
like I said,
go ahead, finish your thought.
no, you're good. Go do your thing.
They missed a chance to bring it up a notch with the naming, because they could have gone like Super Switch, SS, NSS. They could have gone the complete Switch, which would have been a Nintendo 360.
I
Or
honestly think
the Switch 180.
oh god. Well, honestly, I think if they had called it like, because a lot of people were saying, oh, it's going to be the Switch Pro. Like, I mean, it does work, but
They're not
then
Sony.
but also the fact that, okay, if you call it the Switch Pro, then you're going to have people saying, oh, it's still the same generation as the Switch, which at this point is not the case. This is an entirely new generation of game console, period. Whereas with the PS5 Pro, it's still part of the PS5 family, so it's still within the same generation.
The Ultra Switch.
So I think
That's,
honestly,
Apple Watch.
Yeah.
so I think honestly they were smart in choosing the Switch 2 as their name. Switch Pro would have been just, I think, just as good, maybe a little less than, but yeah, I think I'm glad that they got smart with it and learned their lesson from Wii U.
Right. Let's hope it's they're innovating again.
They also missed a chance to name it Wii Switch.
Switch U.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, from everything that I've seen, it looks like they're going with the same form factor. It's just like the screen is going to be slightly bigger. The bezels are going to be smaller, so you're definitely going to have a bigger screen. And so they're from what I'm hearing, it looks like they're sticking with what works. As far as like innovations and whatnot, they're like, at this point, who's to say?
Right.
What I'm hearing is like the Joy-Cons, the Joy-Cons on the Switch 2 aren't going to be the same on-rail slide on, slide off as the Switch 1 was. It looks like it's going to be, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be magnetic. So they clamp on with magnets, and that's how they hold on. I'm not sure exactly how well that's going to work, especially in the long run as you're taking the Joy-Cons on or off. I rarely do with mine. Mine's almost always in.
Look at this. It just goes out flying.
Well, I'm thinking because at some point, like as you unclamp and clamp those magnets, eventually, they start to lose their effectiveness. From what I've seen in magnets, like as you continue using them, they're not as good as they once were. And then eventually it gets to the point where you're not going to be able to hold those things onto the console, and then they're going to fall off.
And then they're going to sell the Switch Velcros where you're going to attach it to the console.
You imagine every time you play.
Oh, well, honestly, I mean, but this is the thing though. You've got third-party companies creating their own versions of the Joy-Cons, and you've also got companies creating docks and other things. Like case in point, the perfect example is the cracked Nitro deck, which Yadi and I were talking about before the episode started. It's basically just one big unit that the base of the Switch without the Joy-Con slides right into, and it functions as the controller. And it can also function as its own dock. All you have to do is plug in the USB-C power cable into it, and I think that functions as everything. I don't know exactly how the Nitro deck works. I gotta look into it again because I have it on my wish list. I kind of want to get one, but yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that third-party companies are going to build on that and create something that's going to work with the new console.
Right.
in I think better ways than sometimes even Nintendo themselves does.
Yo, this Nitro deck looks amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
No, I hadn't seen it.
That's the one that's $50, right? Typically.
I don't see the price on here.
Maybe I got confused. But still, like I have another version of a cheaper version when they started to come out. I think it's like Next Go. I don't know the brand. It's weird, but it works fine, and you can switch the analog sticks, like the thumb thing, and make it higher and whatnot. And it has back buttons too.
The Nitro Deck Retro Purple Edition with carry case and stick top bundle. Normally $109. It's $70 right now.
Oh yeah,
And that's
the one. Yeah,
yeah.
That's with the case and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the black edition is $50. Everything else is the black or the white one are $50. The clear ones, the color clear ones, are $70.
They should start making Nintendo's Joy-Cons, because if they with this new console, they have to change the freaking analog sticks.
You were gonna say Switch, and you're like, I'm not saying Switch again.
Yeah,
we've said it too many times already.
Yeah, no, they definitely gotta change that, because
I'm pretty sure they will. I'm pretty sure they will, because they've had. Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's the biggest. That is the single biggest complaint that the Switch has had, is the fact that the every single Joy-Con they put out has had some form of stick drift. It's fucking ridiculous. And you've got these third-party companies that are putting out, accessories that are significantly better. And like you were saying earlier before we started the episode, even their Pro Controller is not immune from that. I mean,
no.
I think it's less prevalent in the Pro Controller, because like some people have that problem. I haven't had, because I've had this Pro Controller from like the get-go, because I bought a Pro Controller day one when I got my original Switch, and I've had this thing ever since. And so I haven't had a single issue. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the case for everybody. And and that's the thing. I haven't had stick drift with my Joy-Cons at this point yet. But then again, I don't use handheld mode all that often with mine. Mine is almost always hooked up to something, whether it's the TV or my capture card or whatever. And so I'll never have to worry about that, because it's always there.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure they'll get it figured out, and fingers crossed.
Yeah.
The Switch 2 is going to be 8K compatible.
Yeah, right.
That's what the Sony claimed with the first PS5.
Yeah.
And then secretly took it off the boxes of the later generation.
Thinking people probably wouldn't notice. It's like,
effect.
If you probably could have hit 8K on the original PS5, but it probably would have struggled to even hit like 30 FPS. Because that's just.
That's the other thing. If the new, going back to the Switch, comes out with like 120 hertz on the screen, that will be nice.
Oh yeah,
4K.
I'd like to
4K.
see. Yeah, I'd like to see. Well, from what I'm hearing, I don't think that the Switch 2 screen is going to be OLED. I think it's just going to be your bog standard LCD screen, basically just to keep costs down.
Right, and also to have a upgrade.
Probably an OLED, probably an OLED version in the near future, because because as manufacturing costs drop, and they will inevitably, then they're going to be able to put more into it. But I think they do that based on the fact that most people are probably like me, and they're going to keep their Switch in the dock and just play it on the TV. Right. And if that being the case, I honestly kind of would think that maybe the Switch 2 should have 4K in docked mode. I'd love to see that, but will it happen? I'm not entirely sure.
And you're talking about manufacturing cost going or lowering. If it's true that this dude like talked about and leaked the information,
Mhm.
they're gonna get a discount. Nintendo's gonna get a discount from this company. They're like, okay, we're gonna cost your cost a little bit because this guy fucked up.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, the guy at the very least, if this is true, at the very least, is going to lose his job.
Oh,
But-
for sure.
But I think he kind of knew when he did this that it was going to happen, and so it's just like, fuck it, I got nothing to lose. I'm going to lose this job. I'm going to make sure I'm going to make it worth it. But
If it would have been a U.S. company, they'd be like, okay, well, we're gonna find someone that's more discreet for our future projects, unless you give us a discount. I would.
Yeah, who knows at this stage?
So, do you have anything else for the Switch?
Not at this point, no.
Okay, fantastic. We'll probably have something else next week.
Well, maybe. I mean, if nothing else, I can throw it in the comments to this video once the episode's over.
Yeah.
Between this week and next week, because honestly, like you get guys like Nintendo Prime, like they talk about it like every single day because that's literally what their focus is just like Nintendo and the Switch 2 and everything that's coming out of like that company. Like a lot of people are talking about, because I think tomorrow or the next day, the new Legend of Zelda is coming out, and that's the one where you play as Zelda for most of the game.
Got it.
And I'm actually looking forward to that. So sophisticated in the chat. Yes, Optimus Prime's brother, Nintendo Prime.
Yes.
I'd love to see somebody make that.
Talking about things that are coming out, October 11th, Dragon Ball Daima is coming out. It's going to drop also on Crunchyroll on release day, which it's great. Is it going to be dubbed? Doubt it. Which it's also great. Also, Sparking Zero.
I prefer sub anyway. Also, what I heard. Sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
But the since the main character is a kid, they actually got the voice actress that played Kid Goku and Gohan to come back to voice Goku in this, which I thought was actually kind of cool.
So just in case you don't know what the plot is, what I've noticed with Dragon Ball is that they're using the storylines from Dragon Ball GT and rehashing them to make them canon without making Dragon Ball GT canon. And case in point is the new show coming out that Goku and company, actually the only one that gets turned into a kid in Dragon Ball GT was Goku, which all was by mistake. But in this one is Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, Chi-Chi. I think Piccolo gets turned into a kid also. And it's done on purpose. And they have to go to the Dark Realm to reverse the wish. So that's what the whole story is. We are going to see Goku's transformations. I don't know if we're going to see Ultra Instinct in kid form, but there's leaks that we're going to see at least up to Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Well, it makes sense because we did see it in GT,
right?
Although briefly, but
right.
And and this being canon, though, then it also depends on when in the timeline does this take place?
Right. I think is after the Tournament of Power. It's like in between the Tournament of Power and Superheroes with Gohan. Because Gohan's superhero movie is actually the latest story or timeline that there is. It's the last thing that's happened. This is also after the Gas arc, the Granola arc, the Mora arc, all of that, and then Dragon Ball Superheroes is the last thing that happened, which means that Gohan Beast is actually stronger than Master Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, because they said it that Gohan is stronger than Goku and Vegeta at that point, and they had already mastered those two transformations. And another story that they rehashed was Granola's. I don't know if you're familiar with Granola's arc that's happening right now in the manga. Is this guy, he makes a wish to be the strongest in the universe, and he is out for revenge to kill Goku and Vegeta because they're the last Saiyans, and Frieza. And the reason is it's because the Saiyans and Frieza were the ones that destroyed his world, his planet, and killed everybody in it, which is the storyline for Baby in Dragon Ball GT.
Pretty much.
So they're literally rehashing everything, making it better, because now everyone that if you notice in Dragon Ball Super, except for Frieza, everyone that fights Goku turns his friend, and is what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z at some point happened.
Mm-hmm.
If the villain didn't get killed, they turn and become friends.
Eventually, over a longer period of time, yes.
Right, like Piccolo, Vegeta, Tien, all of those were villains at one point, or rivals.
Yeah, because that happened with the first one.
Right. So now Granola also, spoiler alert. So there's a lot of good things happening for Dragon Ball right now. Also, Sparking Zero is coming out.
Same day.
Same day. There's over 185 characters.
Damn.
And the
GT versions, I saw them too.
Yeah. The problem with the number that they give us is that they are counting transformations as characters. However,
infusions.
However, they're going back to Budokai Tenkaichi. Like, if you pick Goku, you can transform all the way to Ultra Instinct. But you can also pick the transformation to be your character. If you want the transformation to be part of your team, that's who you can pick it. That's why they're counting them as characters. So
interesting.
Yeah, so they have Dragon Ball's characters, they have Dragon Ball Z characters, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball movies. So we get both Broly versions.
The good one and the shitty one.
And it's up to you to figure out which one.
What's funny is I haven't even seen. I still haven't. I have the Broly movie, or the Super Broly movie. Haven't seen it yet. I need to fucking watch it. I've seen clips. I've seen clips from it. I'm like, fuck. Like, I have this movie sitting here on digital, and I need to fucking watch it. But I'm just like, why? Like, I honestly I can't even tell you why I haven't watched it yet. I've seen the originals,
So which one do you think it's the shitty Broly? The new one?
The OG.
Oh, okay. And
The
and
OG,
the only
the
reason,
OG Broly is so fucking stupid. It's ridiculous.
like, and he actually is, because and the story,
It's the premise behind how he achieved his power.
yeah, and because he's the legendary Super Saiyan. It's not the point. Not the point. The plot
Mhm.
of him being so mad that Goku was next to him crying is the whole plot of the movie.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, you were a baby. And he didn't cry as an adult next to you. How do you know it's him?
Oh yeah.
And if he did, he does not cry the same way, by the way, because he's an adult.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that he only says Kakarot the whole movie, it's insane. The new one, the plot and the animation is top tier.
Mhm.
The fact that we get about over an hour of fighting and it's, I love Gogeta, the original Gogeta. He was one badass character. But in the new version of Gogeta, it blows that one out of the water.
Hmm.
The attacks, the his demeanor, everything. It's just it. They made this Gogeta a little bit more like Vegito, more like cocky, and he will bully you the entire time he's fighting you. I went to see this movie in the theaters, and when we went to see it in the theaters, it was a triple feature. They played the Bardock movie.
Ooh.
They played the Gogeta movie, Fusion Reborn.
Mm.
And then they played this one because both of those had to do with the current movie.
Interesting.
And like the storylines of Bardock and Gogeta were there in the new one, but they didn't play the Broly movie because it's a whole new story. It happens the same way. He's too powerful, he gets sent off, whatever. In the original, he gets stabbed as a baby and thrown in the trash with his father. So it's just, but we're getting, if we may talk about Star Wars, and I don't, there's a lot of characters that I forget their names, storylines until we talked about it. But Dragon Ball, I will always be on top of it. Like there's no, when it comes to Dragon, look, listen. Listen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's just whatever. The point is, watch the damn movie, dog.
Oh, I'm gonna.
You're gonna love what Broly does to Frieza. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Did I send your kids that movie? Is that the movie that I sent them?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the first experience with Dragon Ball, and they love it.
Yeah.
And we're getting the game because we're all going to play. So,
Yeah.
well, I
that
can play
game.
my
Nice.
PS4 Pro now with the new game. So that's perfect. That's a perfect game to play it.
And if you pre-order it, I'm gonna tell you exactly. This okay. This is not sponsored by Dragon Ball. It's just
Yeah. So, like, are you going to say the prices?
yeah.
Yeah. They have like three tiers, I believe.
Yeah, the normal three tiers that they release. So it releases October 11th. Single player and multiplayer. Single player offline, multiplayer online. It's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and on PC. Taking the legendary gameplay of Budokai Tenkaichi series and racing it to a whole new level.
Oh, we gonna fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mix of Budokai Tenkaichi and what was the last two games that it had to do with like time traveling? Xenoverse.
Ah, yeah.
Like that fighting style of like moving around.
Mm.
Not like fighters, that it was more like 2D, which that game was great. All right, so it actually has 4 editions. The standard edition, just get the base game. If you pre-order, you get base Gogeta, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, and base Broly, Super Saiyan Broly, and Berserk Broly. And a... What does that say? I clicked on it, but it doesn't say anything. Oh, and
no.
a question mark playable character. So you get a bonus
Ooh.
character and you don't know which one it is. And then the deluxe edition is the base game, season pass DLC 1 through 3. Season pass bonus summon Shenron. And early access play 3 days early. The Ultimate Edition, it's base game. Ultimate Upgrade Pack, which is Goku Super Custom with Power Pole, emote voice set, 2-player card backgrounds, 1 customization item, which they're bringing back the whole customization thing that they can hold items and it gives them a boost on depending on the item.
Little capsules.
Yep. And also they're bringing back the power level feel, which in the Budokai Tenkaichi games, if you had Gogeta and you played against Yamcha, and you were Yamcha, it'd be very difficult. It's not like the other games that it's all about the player and see if you can hit faster than the other player. This one, it has to do with power levels. Also on the Ultimate Edition, you get, just like the other one, Season Pass DLC 1, 2, and 3. And then Season Pass bonus, Summon Shenron, and the 3 day. So the difference is the Ultimate Upgrade Pack, which doesn't seem like a lot. You can summon Super Shenron, which that's different. I know I read it, but it didn't click. So you get Shenron and Super Shenron. And then the DLC pack includes the androids from Dragon Ball Super Superheroes. The Premium Edition. It's a Premium Collector's Edition.
Ooh.
Base game. Ultimate Edition Upgrade Pack Voucher Code. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero exclusive diorama. And I'm going to tell you what the diorama is in a second. Exclusive cards, steelbook, and metallic bookmark, and 3 day early, plus everything else that the other ones bring. The diorama is Berserk Broly fighting Ultra Instinct Goku statues. That looks fun.
Oh yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, if you haven't Googled that, yes. That looks very cool.
Yeah.
But not for that price.
Yeah.
What are they asking for it?
They are asking. Of course, it's under. It just says join the wish list.
Of course.
Yeah, the people that got to pre-order it already have it on sale on eBay. And it's going from like $375, and I see it as much as $600.
Jesus Christ. Uh
But that's just.
Fucking scalpers.
Scalpers, you are the scum of the fucking earth. And I hope you don't sell any of them.
Gee.
I hope nobody buys them.
Yeah. I'm going to look this up and I'm going to put it on the screen. Because I want to get this now. Because I've been wanting to get into the whole statues thing.
Hmm.
And this Goku I got is actually pretty nice and hefty. And
Oh,
I
that's
think
nice.
it was like $30.
That's nice. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't see a picture of it.
Your signal looks like it's pretty low because Yadi, you are choppy as hell.
It's wire in, so maybe the browser.
All right, so I'm going to put this in right now. No, of course. Okay, I'm going to try this.
What were you trying to do? Like share it?
Yeah.
Oh no. Whoop. Oh, cool.
I know. It's so cool. I need this in my life.
Not
It would,
bad.
yeah,
Not
I
bad.
love that it's Broly and Goku, but it should have been Broly and Gogeta.
I mean, it is what it is. It's still cool. And of course it doesn't say how much.
Yeah, of course not. The steelbook looks fantastic, by the way.
See, those are the things that
I'm touching myself tonight.
that I don't waste money on. But very cool for whoever gets to have it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I
I'd be
say
willing
that,
to-
but I probably won't be getting it. You're going to see my ass getting the base game.
I'd be willing to bet that collector's edition's probably like at least $200.
Yeah.
Which,
if not more.
Yeah. $250, which to be honest, even
At the most.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even at that MSRP, it's just like, no, you can't. To me, you can't justify that.
No.
You can't justify charging that. So
You go next year and you'll find it at GameStop.
You
Still have
see-
some in stock.
You see, the companies, what they do is they send out their employees to buy them so that way they can resell them and get more money. And they say, here, keep 100. Mother truckers.
Mother of truckers. Okay, so Venom.
Oh, yes.
Am Venom. The trailer was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Obviously, in the first trailer, we saw Venom turning a horse into Venom Horse. That was pretty cool.
Mhm.
But in this last trailer, we got to see Noel.
Glimpses of him. Nobody saw his
Yeah.
face, sadly, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but they're keeping it close.
of course. Of course.
And
Who is Noel for the people that don't know?
Noel is the symbiote god.
Yep.
He hates his own creation. So those monsters that you see in the trailer are actually created by Noel to kill all the symbiotes. And if you notice, in the trailer there is what they look like meteors, but they're actually probably just the symbiotes running
Mhm.
away from Noel.
Yep. And they said so in the trailer. Like this
Yeah.
wasn't an accident. They were running from something.
Yeah. And the fact that we know how powerful Venom is, and the symbiotes are, he's not the strongest. They actually, he's one of the weakest.
Hmm.
And the fact that they were running from Noel says a lot about this character.
Mhm.
And if you're familiar with the weapon that Noel uses, it's the Necro Sword, which we saw in the MCU in Love and Thunder by what's his name?
Kristen.
Gore the God Butcher.
Yes.
I was thinking of the actor name.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Yes.
So Noel actually used that sword to kill gods. And he cut the head of a what's it called? The huge
A celestial.
the celestial head
Hmm.
with the sword. We see that head in Guardians of the Galaxy and Infinity War as you see Dragon Ball. I can tell you every single detail.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yep.
Why are we going nowhere? That is the head of a celestial that
Mhm.
Noel actually butchered. So he's quite powerful.
Hmm.
However, is he going to be in the movie or is he going to be in the after credit scene?
That would be fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sony, don't do us like that. You have him in the trailer. If he is not the main bad guy throughout the entire movie and he doesn't make a major appearance in this movie, you're going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't think that they're going to be able to defeat him in this one. We might see him in Spider-Man 4. I don't know. However, I don't think so either. Those are the rumors that I keep hearing. Spider-Man 4 is going to be more of a grounded movie, like less powerful villains, more neighborhood problems, which is what they said that they're trying to do. We're going to get a Gwen Stacy. And Jay's coming back.
He has not met the Green Goblin of his Earth.
No, he has not. But are we going to see the Green Goblin or are we going to see the other version? My damn it.
The pumpkin dumping.
Yeah.
oh man, yeah, no, the original theatrical Green Goblin. What the fuck is who the fuck is it?
Exactly.
Yeah. See. oh man, I'm gonna assume that Lola has the brain cell and she's not even here this week.
Yeah. I dumped all my brain
Willem
cells
Dafoe.
onto Dragon Ball.
Willem Dafoe.
No, but yeah, no, I'm talking about the other goblin,
The other goblin. Hobgoblin?
Hobgoblin. I
Not
think
sure.
that is who we are going to see because we still haven't seen Hobgoblin yet.
Hmm.
We kind of seen a version of him in The Amazing Spider-Man, but they still called him the Green Goblin.
Yeah, that version was kind of shit. And as far as I'm concerned, doesn't exist. So I don't talk about that.
Yeah. But the Hobgoblin is the one that we get in the Spider-Man animated series. That he is like his suit is like blue and orange with a pumpkin dumping. The one that we get to see in the Spider-Man ride at Universal Studios. So, what do you expect from this movie? Because this trailer got me excited.
Definitely.
And are we going to see Toxin? Because in the first one, who do we get? Riot?
Riot.
Okay. So we're not going to see Riot again.
No. Riot's dead.
Yeah. So we are definitely going to see someone else.
Mhm.
And it's the cop, the detective or whatever.
Gordon.
Yeah. I think he's going to be Toxin. Because I think that in the trailer, his eyes were green. And Toxin's, he's kind of purple, but his eyes are green. So that's
It's definitely possible because there is a lot that they didn't show.
Yeah, because we got Riot in the first one, Carnage in the second one. We still haven't seen Toxin. We still haven't seen the female version. What's her name?
I'm drawing a
Poison
blank as
Ivy.
well.
Yeah, Poison Symbiote. What's her name?
They did have her in the latest Spider-Man game.
Yes.
Well, a version of her. Have you not played that game? You haven't played that game, Justin, right?
Marvel Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
I have not. I've played some of the first one, but
I almost spoil something. Well, it's been out for a while.
go ahead and do it. I'm not worried about it.
Scream.
Yes. So Mary Jane becomes Scream,
Wow.
but not because it's just she gets kind of possessed. You know how it works with the symbiotes, but
Yep.
it was cool to see that. That you try to save her basically in the game.
Interesting.
Fun. Okay, don't Google female Venom. I'm just gonna close that.
Rule 34 does its job and does it well.
I'm glad that I still have to save search on because what I saw was PG 13. Okay, moving on from that. Do you guys have anything else on this trailer?
It's a great trailer, and I'm looking forward to this movie.
It's so funny.
The trailer is funny.
It's gonna be one of those movies that I do want to see. Some funny stuff. You know how it's been lately with the superhero and comedy and whatnot. But I like those, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you have to be able to strike a good balance with it, and that's where I think a lot of the other ones fell short, especially ones like Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Like the tone, I think, of that movie should have been way more serious than it was, and that's where you have guys like Taika Waititi. Like, I honestly think he probably shouldn't have directed Love and Thunder. I think it
One
should
of
have
my
been
favorite
someone else.
Sam Raimi.
One of my favorite movies.
Could be. I mean,
Thor.
but that's the thing, though. He directed Doctor Strange 2. But
And it was
that,
very
like,
serious.
right. But like that, honestly, even still fell short because there was just like so much crammed into one movie, and it just threw it threw the pacing off.
Yeah.
So, like I like to see, like, based on what we've seen in the trailer, or all the trailers that we've seen thus far, I think it should have a more serious tone, and it looks like it is. But you also want to sprinkle in some of those comedic moments, like at the end of the trailer where they're at the casino and he throws all that money in, and he's just like going ham on that freaking slot machine. And then it's like he loses everything, kicks the shit out of the slot machine. He's like, "You broke my leg, Eddie. I need more money."
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh man.
All right. So I have here, let's close out with some list that I have.
Ooh.
I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 list. One is worst comedies of all time.
Ooh.
15 movies so terrible they're fun.
Hmm.
Every Star Wars plot hole by George Lucas through the prequels.
Interesting.
And 10 biggest Star Wars plot holes in continuity errors. Okay, so let's start with the worst comedies of all time. It's top 50, so I'm going to scroll through them. And all I need from you is a agree or disagree.
Okay.
Cool?
So you
Number
going from
50.
50 to 1? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Number 50, White Chicks.
Disagree.
Never saw it, so I don't really have an opinion on it.
Okay, I disagree. It's a great movie. It's hilarious. I can still watch it.
Oh, my poodle.
49, Chuck and Larry. Just completely disagree. That's a great movie.
It's not as funny as it should be, but I guess I agree.
Okay.
Never saw it.
48, Evan Almighty.
Again, never saw it.
I agree. It's not that great.
Yeah. Bruce Almighty is better.
47.
Way better.
I've never seen this movie, but the title, Freddy Got Fingered.
I've heard of that.
It's Tom Green.
Yeah, yes. I was about to say it's like it's
seen
a
it a lot.
fucking Tom Green flick, and I'm not a fan of Tom Green, so I'm like,
He acted, directed, and wrote it.
Mhm.
Okay.
and it shows.
Zoolander 2. Any movie with this motherfucker in, it should be on here.
That one, well,
Saw the first one.
the second one is not as funny, but
I
Saw
agree.
the first one, and those are the type of movies that you watch once, and that's it.
45, Meet Dave.
Never saw it.
I'm unbiased. I don't know. I've never seen it either. Number 44, Sex Tape. Never seen it.
Sounds
no.
familiar, but no, I don't think I've seen it. Who stars in it?
Seth Rogen.
No. Is Cameron Diaz and
I know the one you're talking about. Never saw it, but
no. 43, Little Nicky.
what? The worst comedies of all time, and that movie's on this list?
Yeah, it's
Come the fuck on.
yeah. I disagree.
I absolutely disagree.
Here's the thing. This is the one Adam Sandler movie that I enjoy him playing a character.
Mm.
Like every Adam Sandler movie, I think his worst movies don't mess with the Zohan,
Never saw it.
and you don't have to. The worst Adam Sandler movies are the ones that he plays a character. Like he doesn't play himself. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Okay. 42, Nutty Professor 2.
I don't remember seeing that one. Saw the first one. Good
Yeah.
movie. But I don't think I've ever seen the second one.
Yeah, it's all right. I like the first one better.
Hmm.
41, Cop Out.
Doesn't sound familiar.
It's Bruce Willis and what's his name? He was in that car accident with the Walmart truck. Like in real life. I don't remember his name. 40, Tooth Fairy. That's a terrible movie.
That was
The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
Yeah, no, terrible.
Never saw it and not gonna. So
Yeah. 39, Dudley Do Right.
never saw it. I know the character because it's an old school cartoon character.
Yeah,
But-
and it's Brendan Fraser.
Yep.
And Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah. 38, Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2.
Never saw it.
That first one was better. 37, Doolittle. Not Dr. Doolittle, Doolittle with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I know that one.
I haven't seen it.
Never saw it.
36, Click.
Disagree.
Disagree. That was a good movie.
I saw it once a long time ago. That's a is that that's an Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah.
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 And it's a comedy all the way until the end, and then he gets like serious at the end.
And then you
I gotcha.
cry.
And I cried. It was yeah. 35, My Boss's Daughter.
Never saw it.
It's fine.
Agree. I don't
It's
remember.
Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, it's an Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not anything from him like outside of like that 70s show.
Yeah.
No.
34, The Happy Time Murders.
Never saw it.
It's when the puppet cast of a 90s children's TV show began to get murdered one by one, a disgraced LAPD detective turned private eye puppet takes on the case. It's Melissa McCarthy. Terrible movie. 33, A Medea Christmas.
Never seen it.
I like the Medea movies. That one is not one.
Tyler Perry's movies don't really interest me all that much, so yeah.
Number 32. I completely disagree. Grown Ups 2. That shit's hilarious.
Never saw it.
It's not as funny as the first one, but
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I agree
it's
with
good.
you. Grown Ups was better, but Grown Ups 2 was still like it's
still a good
just
movie.
a couple notches down.
Yeah.
Not 31. Cop and a Half. It's an old movie with
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
no. You would think so. That's a good one. I like that, but no. It's Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds in comedy is not something
Yeah.
you would expect. That's kind of weird, but I never saw it.
Yeah. Number 30, Dirty Love. Never
Never saw
seen it. Yeah. 29, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. It's a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Okay, that sounds like a direct to digital or direct to video fucking B movie. Like what?
So
Yeah.
we agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Just from the title, I would say sure it belongs on the list, even though I've never seen it.
Yeah. 28. The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Terrible movie.
Sounds
Never saw it.
familiar.
It's
There's a trend here. A lot of these movies
yeah.
that are on this list I've never fucking seen.
Well, 27. Scary Movie 5.
Yeah,
Never saw it.
I want to stop those, but
It's
I
the
guess
one
I
with
agree.
Charlie Sheen and
yeah, I agree.
yeah.
I saw the first one and I thought it was kind of dumb, but whatever.
I like 1 through 4. 5, and you could tell that 5 wasn't the best because they stopped making them after that. 26. Norbit.
Never saw it.
I disagree. Yeah, it's not the worst.
Yeah, it's well. Looking at the rest of the ones that they put on here, that one's bad. 25. The Ridiculous Six. That movie is funny. It's when Adam Sandler signed that Netflix contract. I think it was the first movie of that series that he was making, or not series, but of that contract.
Mm.
And it had obviously his
The
regular
cowboy
cast.
kind of thing.
Yeah, the cowboy one. And it was funny because they were all from the Ridiculous Six, all were from different ethnicities, but they were all from the same dad. They were all brothers.
When you said cowboy movie, I immediately thought, okay, is this like a comedic version of like Magnificent Seven and Hateful
Yeah.
Eight?
Yeah.
Both of which I've seen, but that's the thing. I've only seen Hateful Eight once, but it's just like, okay. Magnificent Seven, like the remake, really good. The original, really fucking good. So if you got those who haven't seen the Magnificent Seven, definitely watch it. Good movie. But
So
yeah,
Ridiculous says is an outlaw who was raised by Native Americans discovers that he has 5 half brothers. Together, the men go on a mission to find their wayward deadbeat dad.
I've seen this. I'd seen it, but
Yeah,
I
like
don't remember
Justin,
much.
you have to. This is one of those movies that it should be on 15 movies so terrible they're fun. We'll see if it's on there. 24, an Alan Smithy film, Burn Hollywood Burn.
never heard of it.
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. 23, Little Man. That was kind of funny.
That was. I remember.
With the Wayans
that
brothers.
movie. Yeah. I
Mm.
thought it was bad. It's
Yeah.
from them. It was not.
Never saw it.
Yeah. 22, Year One with Jack Black.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what's his name? He's the main character from what's that superhero movie? Funny superhero movie.
Is he in Arrested Development?
Yeah, the son.
I know of the movie, never saw it, but it's one of those. That movie, like literally everybody was fucking talking about when it came out. Like
Yeah.
it literally, it was just like every other like YouTube video I would see people in the comments fucking talking about it, people on Twitter and Facebook talking about it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what is this? But I never got around to watching it, and I'm probably not going to at this point. So
Yeah. Number 21, Boo 2, A Medea Halloween.
No.
never saw it.
No. 20, Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. That was funny. The first
I
one
like
was
those.
better. But
Yeah.
those movies are I can sit there. If I'm scrolling through and I see them, I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch
Put it
this.
on. Yeah.
Never saw
Okay.
either one of them.
Oh, man. They're funny. You got to watch them. 19, movie 43. I never watched it. I remember when it came out.
Yeah. I think it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, never saw it.
18, It's Pat, the movie.
What?
I've never
It's-
even heard of it.
Yeah. 17, That's My Boy. Another Adam Sandler movie in this list.
Mm.
I think they don't like Adam Sandler.
Probably. Misa think they are biased.
Yes. 16. All About Steve.
Never heard of it.
It's a Sandra Bullock. 15. I completely agree because of the original cast is better. Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumberer. When Harry met Lloyd.
Oh, the shitty fucking
Prequel.
Yeah.
Nah.
I agree. It's definitely has its place on this list. So
yeah. 14. 50 Shades of Black. It's also a Wayne's brother movie.
Never saw it.
Yeah, me neither. 13. Good Morning.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it has Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, Megan Fox, which is the movie that they met, and then they got married. 12. Holmes and Watson. I'm okay with that.
Never saw it.
It's Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
It's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
They're every fucking movie Will Ferrell does, John C. Reilly.
Garbage.
Well, I mean, Talladega Nights is probably the only halfway decent movie he's put out. I thought that was actually kind of funny, but like everything else that he's done.
I think Elf is his best movie.
Well, I haven't seen that one yet. I might see it some.
We see it every Christmas. every winter we see it
here. Yeah. 11. Leonard, Part 6. It's a Bill Cosby movie. I fell asleep every time. Number 10. Giggly. Or Jiggly. With Ben Affleck and J-Lo.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
Never saw it, but I've heard nothing but terrible things about it.
Yeah. Number 9. The Love Guru. With Mike Myers.
Yeah, I think it's not one of his best.
Never bothered with it. Again, nothing but bad things.
Number 8. The Hottie and the Naughty.
Never heard of it.
It's Paris Hilton.
Yeah. Now I wish I'd never heard of it.
Yeah. Number 7. The Date Movie.
Never saw it.
Sounds familiar, but yeah.
It's one of those that they try to do the same thing Scary Movie was doing, but with other genres.
Gotcha.
It's a parody of other shit between like Date Movie, Not Another Teen Movie, or some
Yeah, Date Movie was a parody of rom-coms.
Gotcha.
Number 6, Saving Christmas.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah. It's funny because it won 4 Razzies. Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Worst Screenplay, and Worst Screen Combo. And the worst screen combo went to the actor and his ego.
Oh my God.
God damn it. Kirk Cameron.
Wow.
Number 5, The Emoji Movie. That was terrible.
The kids have been watching it, right? Like this past week, they've watched it every day.
It's a bad movie.
Never saw it, but it looks stupid.
It won 4 Razzies. Worst Picture, Worst Director, Worst Screen Combo, the 2 obnoxious emojis, and the worst screenplay. Number 4, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. The first one was good.
The second one was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Didn't see either one. So
yeah.
I like Baby Geniuses. That was a fun movie to watch.
Yeah. Number 3, Son of the Mask. That was terrible.
It was a bad one. Yep.
That was garbage.
Yeah. Number 2, Epic Movie.
Never saw it.
It's a spoof on epic movies such as The Da Vinci Code, Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, and more.
I think I've seen this, but I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a parody of like epic adventure movies.
Mm.
And number one, and I kind of agree that it's on this list, but I've seen worse on this list. And it's also an Adam Sandler movie, Jack and Jill.
Never saw it.
That was bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Jack and Jill won a total of 10 Razzies in 2012. It doesn't say what they are, but let's jump real quick on the 15 movies that are so terrible they're fun. Number 15, The Core. I don't remember watching that one.
It doesn't even sound familiar.
Yeah.
That's why they're in their list.
Yeah. Number 2, The Room. It's
A bad movie. Yep.
yeah. Number 3. It's so terrible they're fun, but I think it's just terrible. Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
Clooney.
Yeah.
Yep.
This next one, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's a good movie.
You struggled with that one.
Con Air
Never cared for it.
with Nicolas Cage. It's good. It's just it could be a lot better.
True enough.
But I can watch it all the time. It came out in 1997. I feel like any movie I watched when I was a kid was good if I had action in it. Number 5, Over the Top. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Old movie. Saw it once.
Number 6.
Not a good one.
The name itself makes me want to watch it. Samurai Cop.
Never heard of it.
Neither have I. Number 7. Never seen any of these. Sharknado.
Tornado. Yeah.
Never seen any of them.
Same, and never will.
Yeah. Number 8. And I have watched this movie countless times. The Meg.
The Meg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
If it's
Haven't
a
seen it.
shark movie, I will watch it.
I think the last shark movie I watched was Deep Blue Sea.
And I watched that movie so many times. And if you really, really, really want to mess up that series, watch Deep Blue Sea 2. It's the same plot, just worse CGI. Which I don't know how you... It wasn't the best
already
either.
good, yeah.
I'm going to assume it was probably like a direct to video.
Yeah, it was.
Of course.
It was like Sharknado CGI. Number 9, Master of Disguise. I like that movie.
I want to be a master of disguise.
What do you mean I can't be part of your turtle club? Turtle. Turtle.
I've seen a couple of clips, but that's about all I've seen of that. And yeah.
It's
So
Dana Carvey. He's funny.
never saw it. Not going to.
I agree with this movie. That is terrible. Don't think it's fun. Snakes on a plane.
There's a snake
I
on a plane. No, I don't know how to watch it.
can't believe Samuel L. Jackson did this movie.
You're right. Never saw it. Won't see it.
Yeah. Number 11, Howard the Duck. I
There was
don't
a movie?
remember Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a movie already about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1987.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right,
gotcha,
1986.
Terrible
Gotcha.
movie.
Yeah.
But
The next movie I I used to watch it a lot when it first came out, and I thought it was like the coolest thing you got served. I thought that they were amazing dancers. I watched it not too long ago, and it was just clips of it. I'm like, why did I think this was cool?
Then you got Step Up.
Yeah. Step Up was
Step Up
better.
to the
They stepped
streets.
it up. Number 13, Anaconda.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it once. And
They're making
mean-
a new one.
Are they?
So they're making a new one.
Is there a
Plot
remake?
no. So the plot is that they are filming a snake anaconda movie within the movie of the first one. It's all weird, but that's a plot.
So it's like a fourth wall movie.
Right.
Got
Yeah.
it. Well, when you look back and you're like, it has J-Lo, which her more serious movies are better than her rom-coms. And then you have Ice Cube, which he's not a bad actor. I hesitated. But you also have Danny Trejo in it. Like on paper, it's like, oh, this is going to be a good movie. It's not.
Didn't work.
Number 14, Mac and Me. It's a
Never heard
rip-off of E.T.
Never heard of it.
And number 15, Roadhouse. Nice.
I don't
Nice.
remember watching that one.
It's
Look at this.
1989 Patrick Swayze.
Fuck
the
that.
first
That
one.
movie was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the remake that Jake Gyllenhaal did, but I mean I've seen clips. Not terrible, but I think I will eventually see that movie down the road. But seriously, come on.
I heard the new one was really good.
Mm.
All right. Let's do this one real quick. This one is the every Star Wars plot hole George Lucas introduced since the prequels or during the prequels. Yoda wasn't the Jedi Master who introduced Obi-Wan. Qui-Gon was the Jedi Master. Obi-Wan Kenobi told Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back that Yoda was the Jedi Master who introduced him, but Star Wars Episode 1 contradicts with Qui-Gon being the Master.
Oh yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, the Jedi Master who instructed me.
Yeah.
Well, technically, because he does have a hand in training like the younglings and whatnot. Because we
Yeah.
did see that in Episode 2. So one would assume that at some point in his youth he had some training under Yoda in his
Right.
early days. So
Why did Obi-Wan not remember R2-D2 or C-3PO? They went through a lot together.
true enough, but I would assume it was just kind of maintaining cover.
Yeah.
But then you would think at some point down the road he would have, said or laid all that out for Luke.
Yeah. Why didn't Qui-Gon hire a smuggler on Tatooine? It was the same situation as A New Hope. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, plot hole becomes clear when comparing the two trilogies is how much time the Jedi Master wasted on Tatooine. When Obi-Wan Kenobi needed to get off Tatooine in The New Hope, he hired a smuggler at the Mos Eisley Cantina. However, when Qui-Gon Jinn is the same situation, he can't think of anything until Anakin says he'll race Bunta Eve Classic. It feels like Obi-Wan took 30 years to think of hiring a smuggler just so there was an excuse for the pod race. The Force has a biological component. Yoda stressed the mystical aspect of the Force in the original trilogy. And then they talk about the midichlorians in the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 generations versus 1,000 years. Palpatine's history lesson created a problem. Obi-Wan Kenobi told Luke Skywalker that the Jedi were the guardians of the peace in the Old Republic for over 1,000 generations. A generation, approximately 25 years. So most fans and authors took this literally by making the Jedi and the Republic 25,000 years old. However, Chancellor Palpatine states in Episode 2, he stood for 1,000 years, contradicting A New Hope. Jesus. Stormtroopers were meant to be clones of Jango Fett, even though they're clearly not.
Mm.
Because Jango Fett knew how to shoot.
True enough. And the clone troopers did as well. But I think after Order 66 and I think not long after that is when Palpatine actually disbanded and completely did away with the 501st. And then you started seeing more of the stormtroopers. Because when you saw, and I mean, referencing, I think it was the Kenobi series, you see one of the clones sitting there as an old man begging for change, which means they basically got either killed or basically thrown out on their asses.
Yep. Obi-Wan didn't try to save Anakin after he turned. It was Padme who thought as Luke did. How did Leia remember her mother? Newborn infants don't normally have good memories. Because she says that she remembers her mother in the original trilogy, but she died in giving birth.
Well, I mean, you think about this. They were given to. She was given to Bail Organa as an infant. So, as far as she knew, her adopted mother was her mother,
Right.
and she never knew anything else. And so that wouldn't necessarily. So I don't think that's necessarily a plot hole, because I'm pretty sure Beru and Owen never stated flat out that we're your parents.
Well, here's the thing. The conversation happens after they found out that they are siblings. They're twins. So
The conversation about Leia's mother?
yeah, because it's Luke and
Before.
her.
It was before. It was literally minutes before.
Because on here it says, after learning Princess Leia Organa was his twin sister, Luke Skywalker asked her about the mother he never knew.
Oh yeah, after he learned about it. But I was referring to their conversation where he gives that revelation to her
Got it.
when they were on Endor.
Okay.
So, but yeah. But the point still applies that she grew up only knowing Bail Organa's wife as her mother.
Right.
And so those are her memories, whereas he never had any memories of his mother because he was raised by his aunt and uncle. And he grew up basically calling them, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And so he never knew his biological parents.
Right. Why did it take so long to finish the Death Star? It was well underway in Revenge of the Sith. Nice.
I mean, considering the size of define well underway. and considering the size of that fucking thing,
Yeah.
and how difficult it can be to gather resources and get people, because I would say prisoners, slaves, whatever, to work on something that would eventually destroy planets.
Right.
It's not a fast that's not a fast process by any stretch.
How come they already had a second one?
It's possible that when the first one was finished, although not like technically ready yet,
They started
they were
building another one.
they already started building a second one.
Got it. Why would the Jedi hide Luke on Tatooine and not even change his last name?
Good question.
How were the Jedi forgotten so quickly? The gap between trilogies is less than 20 years.
I don't think they were forgotten. They were just
Yeah.
trying to hide and being killed.
Right.
Pretty much. And plus, the majority of the galaxy kind of went along with what the Empire was doing and basically just kind of turned against them anyway. So,
Right. Why did Obi-Wan tell Luke so many unnecessary lies? Much of his stories don't match what happened, which is fine. I understand that part. He probably didn't want to tell him the truth anyways. Although he aged a lot in 18 years. Why did R2-D2 not share more information? It could have had come in handy. All right. That's
difficult to say.
it. Yeah. Last one. Why didn't Obi-Wan... This is the 10 biggest Star Wars plot holes and continuity errors. Why didn't Obi-Wan use Force speed to save Qui-Gon in Episode 1? When exactly was Sifo Dyas killed?
I'm gonna. They expand on that. I think in. I want to say like Legends or something like that, maybe comics, because because Obi-Wan said that he was killed almost 10 years ago, so we can pretty well assume that it was probably about a year or so after the events of Phantom Menace.
Right. These plot holes don't look very great, so I think I'm just going to skip this list. Because the next one, and this is the one that made me want to skip this. Why does C-3PO act like he doesn't know Leia?
Well, that usually happens
When the last time you saw someone also was an infant.
Well, that too, yeah. But then that also, but that's the thing though. Like they were on that same ship. But then again, having to think about it now, yeah, no, that is really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You are entirely fucking right. I'm trying to think of like something, and I'm just like, no, nothing comes to mind. And so, yeah, I completely agree. That's dumb.
I just closed it out. I'm done with that list.
Yeah,
and it's getting a little late too.
That's all good. We'll save your Cartoon Network question for next week when Lola's on, because I definitely want to have her input on this as well, because that was an interesting question. So look forward to that,
folks.
It's
gonna be a long conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you guys don't have anything else, we have reached the end of the episode. If you want to connect with us, make sure you go on all of our social media down below in the description. We'll see you next week. This was the Nerd Archive Podcast. Again, my name is Louis, Justin, and Yadi. See you next week. Deuces.
Click all the things. Bye.
Yeah.